Okay, getting back on, it's hot. Just saying goodbye. And Anita's going off to Woofing.
I'm going to Monroe, outside of Eugene.
I'm going to put a shirt on, I just wet it because it's hot. So yeah, so I'll video more from the trail, but say goodbye to Anita for a month. You'll get separate videos from her.
Bye.
Okay, Anita's just leaving. There she goes. And I'm back on the PCT. And I've got, there she goes. 4 days until my next resupply. So I'll see you soon there. Hi. So I'm in the tent tonight. There were a lot of bugs when I got here, so I didn't want to bother doing quick filming to show you where I pitched. Doesn't really matter, I'm just in the forest. But I did want to show you the craziness of the mosquitoes. I don't know if you can see them. It's not really showing up through the screen, but there's mosquitoes everywhere. I don't know if you can see them, but there's about 20 mosquitoes just outside this door, desperately waiting for me to open it, which I'm not going to. The vestibule is just full of mosquitoes. It is crazy. Got to be 100 of them in there. Good morning. So this is where I camped last night. This is the view. And it's on a big cliff. I couldn't get a tent site right here. I'll show you back where I was. This was full of people when I got here, and it was about 22 kilometers into my day. I started at 1 p.m. So I actually just went up about there and camped, and there were 3 tents here. And I camped basically up there because I had phone reception, so I was able to do some online stuff. And yeah, it's pretty crazy overhanging cliff. The campsite is on. Very cool. Anyway, try and turn this back around. Try and keep the camera in the shade. Got to do about 30 k's a day now until Canada, so for about 2 months. That's my aim, to do at least 30. 30 kilometer average anyway. Yeah, there'll be days today I'll probably be able to do more, but I don't necessarily need to. So when I was alone last time, I was able to do some 40k days, but it did take a toll on my feet, and I don't want to be rushing that much this time as well. So anyway, I'll shoot some more video from later, but it's a very pretty view. Just thought I'd show you this stunning bit of forest. Keep dropping my poles. If you can see these trees, they've got this lichen growing down them. It's very cool. But yeah, very pretty bit of forest. And I'm walking down that way. Sandy, she's lovely. What's your name?
I'm gonna go with the trail name The Man.
The Man. Okay, this is the Man. I'm Sausage.
That's because I keep telling her. I tell her all the time.
I'm the Man.
The man can't go that fast over these mountains, things like that.
You're beautiful. You're a good girl. How old is she? She's not very old, hey?
She is
3?
almost 2.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I just came up with my trail name.
Looks like seeing some horses again. Haven't seen some for quite a while. Anita will be happy. Should do a zoom in so she gets to look at the horses. There's one, and there's another one. Hey again. So I accidentally took the wrong trail that was supposed to go to a water source that was off trail. And then I ended up just walking another kilometer down the PCT trail. And it's, I think I had half a litre of water this morning for that first 10 kilometres to the water source. And then suddenly there was like another 9 kilometres to the next water source if I kept going. I went through my bottles and realised there was about 300 mils left in my filter bottle, so that was great. So I thought, I can probably get through the next 9 kilometres on 300 mils. But then, there's a big saying in the PCT saying the trail provides. I came across a bunch of horses, which the previous video will show. And very lovely blonde, sort of middle-aged woman, very Daisy Duke-like. Was a trail angel, was giving out, she's on the horses, giving out nuts, and I asked if she might have any water, and she's like, oh yeah, I've got tons of water, and basically gave me a 600ml bottle, which I drained and gave her back the bottle. So now I'm all watered up to get the next, it's probably 5 kilometers now until I get to the next water source. So it's crazy. The whole trail provides thing is a bit silly. You often just find just what you need at certain places. We've even found, full bottles of sunscreen when we were out of sunscreen, just that people had dropped. So pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, I've got, I think I'm about 12-ish, 13 kilometers into the day. It's pretty early. It was lovely to chat to her. Her name was Tuesday. Tuesday, if you're there, thank you very much. And the rest of the trail today, most of it, is this lovely, pretty heavily wooded, pretty shady forest, which is nice. I see 3 guys in front of me there. We all got grouped up, chatting to Tuesday, the trail angel, with her few friends and a bunch of horses. They were just out on a trail ride. But yeah, so we'll all sort of stagger out over the next few Ks, I imagine, as the walking speeds come into play. But I'll send you some more water or more video from the next water source. Hello, just thought I'd quickly show you this little water cache, which people very generously leave here. So there's also a box full of cool power banks, which I've just charged my phone, which is great because I wasn't sure I was going to make it to the next spot. And just a bunch of all sorts of stuff, bug repellent, toilet paper, painkillers, all that sort of stuff. So it's very nice that people leave this, as well as some scales if you want to weigh yourself and your pack, and a bunch of chairs as well. Hello, just thought I'd show you this lovely view. I'm just hiking along kind of this ridge line at the moment. I'm about 30 k's into the day, and I was going to do this section over 4 days, but I've already taken about a day off it, so I've got way too much food. So I'm trying to eat a lot of food so I don't have to carry it, because I've got a resupply box in the next, at the lake, actually. I think I did a video of it where we were playing Connect 4. Got a resupply box there full of food, so I've got to work out how far I'm willing to walk every day and try and pack accordingly. I estimated about 30 k's a day, but it's been a pretty easy rolling hills sort of section, this 4-day section, which now I'm going to do in 3 days. So I started yesterday, and I'll be there tomorrow at the lake. So yeah, I'll get there and probably film some more from my campsite maybe tonight. Just got to find a spot. I've had to carry a lot of water because the next spot is the lake I just showed you in that video. So I don't think I'll go down to that lake. I don't think I'll get there today. It's about 18 kilometers away. I might get about another 6 or 7 k's towards it, but otherwise I'll see you from the campsite. Okay, this is my campsite for tonight. It's an amazing spot, but there are mosquitoes like I have never seen. So I'm cooking up my dinner, trying to stay protected with my Prometheum treated shirt, but my hands have just been destroyed. Anyway, I'm gonna take all my clothes off and go and swim in this lake, which I think you'll see is also ridiculously covered in mosquitoes. I don't know if you can tell that from here, but there's hundreds of them. So I'm gonna have a very quick swim and then eat my meal in the tent and try and go to sleep to the chorus of mosquito swarm inside my vestibule, but not in the tent. I thought I'd take you out for a swim with me. Hi. So hopefully you're getting all this. It's very clear. And now I'm gonna go and try and scramble into the tent. I took a punt that the mosquitoes wouldn't bother me when I was soaking wet, and it proved right for now. But now I've got to sort of somehow get dry and get into the tent. But beautiful spot. Got it all to myself. Oh, I did 46 kilometers today. Biggest day I've done yet. Probably a mistake. It was only my second day walking again after having 3 weeks off in Alaska and Portland and Oregon and stuff, and Seattle. But anyway, I'm gonna not show you myself because I'm naked. I'm gonna try and get into the tent stealthily and not let too many mosquitoes in. Hi. Got my reading glasses on because I'm old. I just thought I'd show you the inside of the tent. I had a bit of a dry with my towel. Texted Anita with this little Garmin InReach that she makes me carry because she wants to be able to track me. It's not creepy at all. And I'm having, it's not this, but it's, I don't know actually what it is. I decant all my meals and the steam's coming up. I think it's okay. I add mash to this one, but I think it's some sort of chicken. I don't know. But mainly I wanted to show you the view. This is pretty much how I got my tent set up. You can just make out in the distance there, well, the very, very near distance, the lake that I just swam in. It's very nice, bug-free in here. I've got my mat blown up. All my down gear that I don't need because it's 30 degrees today, I think. It's pretty hot, and the sun hoodie is it's not as nice as the other one that I started the hike with, the Mountain Hardwear one. It was thinner feeling and just a bit more comfortable. This Patagonia one here. It's not bad, but it feels a bit thicker and doesn't have thumb loops, and the hood just doesn't stay on. It's crazy. You put it on, a little bit of breeze just blows it right off. But I usually wear a hat anyway, as you know. So anyway, I just thought I'd show you. I've just done some feet work because I did 46 kilometers today. It's my biggest day yet. So my toes are a little hammered. I always do this. As soon as Anita gets off trail, I just walk all day, and had about 2 hours break at that water cache as well, and fully charged my devices, which was fantastic. But now I realize, I'm going to be finished this 4-day section tomorrow on the 3rd day. So I didn't need to charge my devices. Anyway, it all worked out all right. See you tomorrow. So I thought I'd actually just show you my food that I now have way too much of because I'm taking a day off. Well, my 4-day hike is now 3 days because I'll get into Shelter Cove where I have another resupply box tomorrow. So I still have 2 dehydrated evening meals. A whole bunch of bars. For lunches I've been having wraps and peanut butter. This is only full up to about that line. I just decanted it into this ice cream bucket. These are the bucket of choice. So for people who don't cook, they buy a bucket of ice cream at some point, eat it, and then use this jar. So Talenti jars they must be pretty light, I guess, or they're cheap, and hikers are cheap because this is the jar of choice, and it's the first time I've actually taken it on a hike, and I've probably eaten 30 of those since I've got it over here. This one particularly is really yummy. They usually have lots of layers of different things in it, like chocolate cookie pieces, and then a layer of like caramel sorbet, and then a layer of something else. So you can get a whole bunch of varieties. So that's full of peanut butter. So I've been a bit lazy this time. I'm just putting peanut butter on wraps, and then pretty standard sort of bars. I have some dried banana pieces here, they're kind of more spongy. They're not like banana chips, so they're nice. I'll get those again. Otherwise, biscuits for lunch. I'm trying not to eat until midday still. This is my rubbish bag over here. Yeah, now that Anita's off trail, she has breakfast, so it's too tempting for me to have breakfast. So I just have been not eating until midday, and then having these, and then having about 5 bars if I want them, and then a packet of M&Ms is my dessert after the evening meal. So that's pretty much what I would eat. In a day there would be just 5 sort of bars. These Bobo ones are quite good. This first time I've got this is quite nice. It's coconut butter in between a couple of biscuits. Weirdly, the plain boring stuff like these things are fantastic because they're so boring you can't really get sick of them in a weird way. It sounds strange. Like this thing, I've been carrying this for about a month because I had one and it was interesting, but it was too interesting and I didn't really love it. But that's, they're like $3 each or something, and so I've just kept carrying it. Whereas these things, I can eat, a couple of these a day. I could probably eat 4 of them a day, to be honest. And they're so inoffensive that you can just keep eating them. These things are pretty good. Yeah, that's about it. I'll leave you with, again, a nice view of the lake. Back again. Last thing, I just thought I'd mention that I had to switch out some gear on the trip. So my base weight has probably changed a little bit, but my blue Thermarest Neo Air, basically the baffles, these little stuck down baffles are starting to delaminate, and they gave me a warranty replacement, but there are none to be had in America somehow. So I'm using Anita's mat, which is about 140 grams heavier, but it's also twice as warm. So she very generously, she didn't even blink, just let me take this because she's lovely. And it's been good because I'm going to get to some snowy areas this trip, or this month before I see her next. And then Washington's all covered in snow at the moment. So I'll be up there in probably 2 or 3 weeks. I got a new Patagonia hoodie, which you've probably been seeing in the videos. Not as great, but my Mountain Hardwear hoodie stretched about 4 sizes, and they very nicely gave me a credit, but the only ones they had in stock to replace it with, the only color was white in my size, which is a ridiculous color for a sun hoodie to have while you're hiking. Great color if you're fishing or not getting it dirty, but and then lastly, my jacket. So I've got a new Outdoor Research Helium jackets, the new one for 2022, so it's a little bit lighter, apparently a little bit better in every way, but unfortunately a little bit heavier than my Enlightened Equipment jacket, which also died in Alaska pretty much the first time it saw a proper rain. It just delaminated, the tape sealing came off around here, but also the fabric just leaked like crazy, which was very annoying because it was about 40 grams lighter than this. So I think this one's 180, that was about 140, so it's not the end of the world, but it's pretty hilarious that I'm disappointed I had to buy probably one of the most awarded jackets and one of the lightest ones you can get, but it was actually a little bit cheaper than the refund that Enlightened Equipment gave me because they also couldn't replace my jacket. The best option they had, because they haven't been able to get fabric for some reason, is women's large, and then they'd have to post it. And we're in Portland, where they had a store, and this happened to have this one in stock, actually at the Outdoor Research head office, Seattle or Portland, I can't remember, but yeah, I was able to drive down there and have my choice of colors, and this was the closest to what I liked. It actually folds up into its own chest pocket, which is nice. I haven't had a chest pocket on the last jacket. But it does feel a bit thicker and a bit more plasticky. The other one felt amazing. It's very similar to the fabric of my waterproof pants. But yeah, so that's 3 changes of gear. Anita gave me some of her socks, which are stretched out enough to fit my feet now, so I've switched out one of my old pairs of socks I've got her down booties actually. I wasn't really wearing a pair of thicker winter socks much, and they're about the same weight as these. And she said, yeah, you take those because you're going back into the snow. So yeah, once I get back, actually I think there's an area where it's going to be about -5 overnight pretty soon in Oregon, and then I go over the border back into Washington where there will be lots more snow again. So this is what I'm carrying probably for the rest of the trip. So it's probably bumped my base weight up to just under 10 pounds, which is still considered ultralight, but about half a pound heavier than what it was. For anyone who's interested. Good morning. Had a pretty good night's sleep. Woke up a few times, but always get back to sleep. I tend to sleep better in the tent, apart from the headaches. So I take like Nurofen or ibuprofen, and helps me sleep a bit better. And sometimes these nighttime PM things. Anyway, I'm walking along the road, which is just running along the lake. The trail is actually up in there, but it's so buggy this morning. The mosquitoes don't tend to hang around as much in the bright sunshine, and there's a bit more breeze on the road. So I've got about a kilometre road walk before I turn off back onto the trail proper. But the other reason was it's going away from the lake, and I want to get some more water before I leave the lake. So I'll walk straight up a ridge, I think, and then it won't be a very exciting day. I've got about 26 kilometres to do until I get to my next sort of resort / resupply. When I say resort, it's just basically like a caravan park with a tiny shop that accepts resupply packages, which we dropped one off on the drive down. So that'll be the last one we dropped off, and my first one on the way back up towards Sisters, the town of Sisters, where we had that accommodation for the last few days. Yep, I'll talk to you a bit. So I've just reached this summit trailhead, and I believe that 2,000, and I've just done the math and it does work out, is 2,000 miles into the hike. I have skipped a few miles for the fire zone, so probably skipped at least 400 miles. So this won't be a full PCT hike because I just didn't want to damage my lungs, and from the people I spoke to who did it, they said it was terrible. It was black soot and dust everywhere, and yeah, it's not worth it that much to me to do every proper mile. So I'll probably be doing, I don't know, 3,500 kilometers instead of 4,270, I think. But I'm fine with that. I also did side trips and hiked all around Moab and Utah and Nevada and Alaska. So I feel like I've probably done the requisite kilometers. I'll call mine something like the Pacific Northwest Trail or something, and get all of America right up to Alaska. Hi, just thought I'd show you the crazy picturesqueness, if that's a word, crazy beauty of this place. I'll just do that so I can see it as well, just in case. So yeah, there's a lake over there, which I'm thinking I'm heading towards. You can see that. Otherwise, yeah, stunning mountains and lakes all around, really. Another lake over there, pretty crazy mountains. There's quite a bit of snow that I'm crossing, but it's only patchy and it's pretty soft, so not really a drama. And I'm headed off that way. So there's quite a bit of snow to get around today. It's pretty exhausting. I did hear about a turn off earlier, but I didn't see any signs for it. That would have avoided a lot of the snow, but looks like I'm doing the snow. Hello. I just thought I'd show you a lot of the Oregon sections are startlingly like riding in Rotorua. And at the moment I've been going downhill quite a ways, as I did the last half of yesterday. There was a climb after that, of course, but all these long downhill single track, essentially, for those who mountain bike. It's really it's making me long to have a bike underneath me and go back to Rotorua, which I've been going to for over a decade, and unfortunately every time I go there it's slightly less good because of the logging. Most of the trails there are built in a logging area and allowed by the logging companies, which is great. But of course they do then go and log an area, and it's completely decimated, and all the lovely tacky loamy soil becomes dry and sort of arid and kind of blows away, and the trails change accordingly. But yeah, I'd love to have a mountain bike here because this is just it's just lovely, and it's even worse walking downhill for any long period of time because I really want to be coasting along on a really nice big dual suspension bike. So I got back to Refuge Cove and I've refilled my pack with my resupply, and now I've got way too much food because I didn't eat much food last time. And I refilled everything just over there at the little PCT specific hiker box. Go for it, sorry. And I'm not going to stay the night because it's about 3 and there's free camping, and I had a shower actually, and it was a bit of a hack. One of the showers wasn't working with coin slots, so you could just get in there and have a hot shower for free. So I washed all my clothes and heading off to Sisters now. So I think it's a 4-day, 4.5, which might end up being 3.5, especially because I'm not going to camp here tonight. So yeah, I've got some washing drying on here, and I'll head off and 3 or 4 days to the town of Sisters. Hey, doing a very long, well, it's not that long, probably a 3-kilometer road walk, and a few cars have gone past me. Not many, it's a pretty quiet road. But I just wanted to blame Anita for me not getting a hitch because she's not with me, and people are just giving me a wide berth, even though I'm all clean, freshly washed and clean. But so Anita, this is your fault. Hello. I just thought I'd show you my camp for tonight. Beautiful spot. I walked about 6 kilometers, I guess, from that caravan park, and there's a nice little lake here, so I'm cooking myself actually some pad thai, a little peanut butter sachet just there as well to add to it. And I got my resupply, so that's my food bag. It's enormous, you can see from the size of my shoe. It's huge and heavy. That's all my evening meals, and this is the beautiful lake. So I've just put it's pretty windy actually, I've just put my boiling water into the food bag, so I've just got some time to show you around. Hopefully that sun isn't too flary. I'll try and cover it with my hand. It's a beautiful lake. I'll keep that tree in the way of the sun. It's really pretty. There's actually more campsites just a bit further down there, but I went and looked at them and they're all already in shade, and it's my experience now that mosquitoes don't really like sunshine or a strong breeze. They're still everywhere. I don't know if you can see them around my legs. It's crazy mosquito sort of time, but I'll do that so you can see. But this is the best chance I've got to get rid of the mosquitoes, and I'm going to quickly scurry into the tent and go to bed. So I'll give you a quick view of the lake this morning. I just packed up because it was very buggy. It's good. I filmed from over there as well because that's where the other campsite is. It's a very nice lake. I was camped about 100 meters up there, and I'm wearing my tights for the first time hiking just because of the bugs. They're all a bit crazy this morning, so I'm trying to keep myself covered. It was a little bit cooler first thing this morning too. I actually had to do my quilt up around me. It's got some little snap seal, some little clicky, snappy things. My brain's not working this morning. So I did those up, but I only wore this hoodie and these tights. They're pretty much my sleep tights so that my legs aren't rubbing on the mat. So I'm thinking everyone's left this morning. It's about 8 o'clock, maybe 8:30. I'm never one that's very early to rise. I can't wait till the sun's on the tent just to dry out any condensation that I might get. Didn't get any last night because it was very windy actually, that's what I meant to say. Super windy. And I got a lot of this fine black grit inside the tent. So I checked that out this morning. Kind of put some things up against the mesh last night to stop it coming in the side closest to my head at least. This is my first water source, and I think only water source, obviously other than the lake, for the next 10 kilometers. So just before I leave the lake, the far end of the lake, I will grab some water and I'll chat to you from the trail. That's my lovely little trail down here. Just walking past another beautiful lake. Seems to be the land of lakes, Oregon. So there's not actually as many water sources between them, which is a little bit less awesome. You're kind of skipping 10 k's from lake to lake. And I think I'm low enough now that I'm out of the snow, so there's no snow drifts that I can steal water from or have any runoff to filter water from. But very pretty lake. Just coming up to my next water source for the day, which is at about the 14 kilometer mark or something. And I've got about 12 kilometers to my next water source. But this is really stunning. Look at that. Kind of tempted to swim, but it's pretty good. Maybe I will. Just had a lovely swim. As you can see, it's a really stunning lake. And one of the rare times where there hasn't been mosquitoes. So a couple of dragonflies buzzing around, but otherwise, yeah, the lake was quite warm, although one of my fingers is losing circulation a bit. But that's just skinny fingers. So this is Bobby Lake, where I've just had lunch. I'm still here. Just thought I'd say hi again. But also, I guess talk about how it's a tough balance when you're hiking solo to try and make the most of these sort of places when you've set yourself a bit of a schedule. But now with Anita not here, and I've got a 5-week period where I won't see her, which is great. She's doing her woofing. I've just got to be really conscious to stop and look around and have a swim. There've been no bugs here, and it's just been a really calm, peaceful moment. There's just ducks floating by, and yeah, it's very sweet, very nice spot. And dragonflies. I've had some food. Just trying to absorb this. I'll probably delete this whole section, but just have to remember to be really conscious of stopping to smell the roses, so to speak, rather than just ploughing through these areas and looking at them as I walk past and not really getting to be here with them. It is a real shame that Anita's not here. This is the sort of stuff she loved. All of Oregon, actually, that I've done has been really pleasant. There's been some snow sections she wouldn't have loved, but none of them were at all scary or risky. They were just slow going. So I think she picked the wrong moment to get off trail for good, but such is life. She's having her own experiences now, which is great. You guys are curious about whether I've got food, aren't you? I do. Probably some spare, but probably shouldn't feed it to you. Not sure if you can see the ducks out there. I think they just swam by very close, didn't even realise I was here, and then all got startled and swam off. I had a second swim at a nice little lake, and then kind of from then on it's been pretty much like this, pretty barren. I don't know if this is, I guess it's an old fire. There is a fire section coming up. I didn't want to skip around all of the walking, and there was a bit between where I got back on trail from the burn area, so I still am going to have to go through a bit of this sort of stuff, but like I said, otherwise I would have had to skip 1,000 kilometers or so if I skipped both burn areas. I'm hoping by the time I get to the next pretty bad burn area, actually happened a couple of years ago, and it's been closed for that whole time, and there's been rumors on the app that we use to do this hike. It's like a map and social media style app. That section might open up by the 1st of August. It's actually only 20 miles long. I think, well, I'm really hoping it'll open up by the time I get to it, so I can walk through it. Otherwise, it's something like 150-mile hitchhike around, which is, 260 k's or something like that. So it's a real hassle if I can't walk through it. I've noticed on the app there's a lot of people, essentially illegally walking through it. So hopefully I don't have to do that, but it's always an option. It is only a 20-mile section, and it has been closed for at least a couple of years while they've been sort of putting it back to normal. One of the comments on the app was that somebody had spoken to a ranger, and there's only like a 3-mile section out of that is still to be fixed up, and that ranger was saying hopefully it would be done within a few weeks. That was a couple of weeks ago I read that, so fingers crossed by the time I get to it, it will be better and passable. But at the moment, this is what I'm walking through. Just stopped at this beautiful lake. There's lots and lots of beautiful lakes here. Just had some lunch. Just had some wraps and peanut butter. Nothing's very exciting this week. Had a real problem with the resupply, just finding anything that excited me at all. So I kind of went for bland and plain. So lunch is peanut butter on wraps and bars, and then a dehydrated camping meal at night. But I've just been watching all these little, I don't know if we'll see if we can see them, dragonflies, bright blue dragonflies, playing around. You can sort of see one there. Yeah, it's probably not going to pick up on the camera very well. They obviously don't stay still, but let's see them hanging around that log a bit. I don't know if you can see any, but they're very pretty. There's a few. Toying with swimming here. It's pretty early in the day. I think it's only 11. I've already had wraps and about 4 bars. because I've got so much food on this trip, I've sort of just forgone not eating until midday. Because I think I counted I literally have double the bars I need for this trip and 2 extra evening meals. I think 3 extra evening meals actually. So way oversupplied. And I could hold on to them when I get to the next town in a day and a half, maybe 2 days, but I'd rather just eat them and put on a bit more fat and then chew into that later and carry less. But the water carries have been good today because there's been so many lakes. I've only been carrying about maybe half a litre of water at a time, which is really nice. Yeah, toying with swimming still. I'm thinking of just swimming in my clothes. It's been warm enough to dry out, and I just get so sick of taking my many layers of. I've got basically three layers on my feet, and then shoes. It's just a bit of a pain to take them off, but getting them wet will obviously get them wet, and then I'll have to walk until they dry. But that might not be a problem. It'll keep me nice and cool. So I think I will do that and go for a swim. I had a lovely swim. Left my shoes on, so they're all squishy now. And just letting my shirt dry out a bit down here. It's not super warm. My fingers are, see the whiteness, especially in this one where I broke my finger. They don't they don't come back as quickly as I'd like when it's a bit colder, but it's just very beautiful. And again, I have it all to myself. It's pretty nice. Wish you could all be here.